Hey, welcome back to the channel, Tea Times for Two, Golf Travel for Couples. Hey, I'm Scott, and if you're new to the channel, normally my wife Cheryl and I rate and review golf courses and resorts from around the golfing world for couples who love to travel and play golf like we do. But today I'm continuing a series on golf courses in Scotland that my brother, my son, and I played on a family pilgrimage to the country of our ancestors. Today we're in St. Andrews, the home of golf, and we're going to review the new course and answer the question, is the new course in St. Andrews an underrated links course? So stay tuned. Again, if you're new to our videos, we normally rate golf courses based on 5 categories. Number 1, the layout and the playability of the course for all levels of players. Number 2, the aesthetics or the beauty of the golf course. Category 3, the course conditions. What kind of condition was the course in when we played it? Number 4, for our Scotland series, a little different, is we're rating each course based on its history or its place in the game of golf. And number 5, the value or the bang for your buck you're getting from playing this golf course. The first category, layout and playability, we're going to give the new course 3.5 stars for layout and 3 stars for playability. The new course was designed by Old Tom Morris and Benjamin Hall Blythe, an Edinburgh engineer, and opened for play in 1895, so it's not quite what you'd call new. It's situated adjacent to the old course, and the new is often referred to as the locals' favorite because it's tighter and more defined than the old course. It possesses some of the similarities to the old course. It has a couple of shared fairways, a double green, the third and 15th hole, and the traditional out and back layout. In many ways, it plays and feels more normal than the old course. It's certainly a lot less quirky and perhaps prettier too, with the swaths of gorse providing brilliance of seasonal color. The fairways of the new are undulating, but they don't have the same slopes and curves that the old course does. So consequently, there are fewer hanging lies. So you're going to get more even lies. So the old course, you can hit a perfect tee shot down the fairway, and you might have your right foot higher than your left foot. You never really have a flat lie the whole way around the golf course. While the greens may seem tame in comparison to the old course, the bunkers, the gorse, the narrower fairways, and the long, really long par 3s make this course quite a challenge. Category 2, the aesthetics or the wow factor. We're going to give the new course 3 stars. While it doesn't have the sweeping views of the old course or the history of the old course, it is a good introduction to Scottish links golf. There's more gorse than what's on the old course. The holes are more defined, and there are some great views of the town. But having said that, there aren't as many memorable holes, but it was a fun course to play. And if you were to put the new course anywhere else along the coast of Scotland, it would receive a lot higher reviews than what it does now, even though it does get really good reviews now. All right, let's talk about some of our favorite holes. Starting with number 1, which is a short par 4 that would be drivable, except there's a huge mound and a rough area that's right in the middle of the fairway, about 50 yards or so short of the green. So you want to lay up short of it, and then you just have a short little wedge into the green, or if you can hit it in the little narrow area to the left of that bunker, then you've got a much easier approach into the green. But it's a good start to a great round of golf. Moving on to hole number 4, it's a short par 4 dogleg left. The green's protected by 3 bunkers short and left, and then there's gorse behind it and heather to the right. And you want to avoid that gorse at all costs. That sucker's got needles about like this on it. Moving on to number 9, it's a really long par 3 that's over 200 yards, and it's a green set in a hollow out there on the estuary where the wind just whips, and it actually changes with the tide. You can watch the tide come in and go out and tell what direction the wind's going just by watching the tide. Hole 13 is a short par 3 with 2 big, deep bunkers flanking the green in front, and then that green really slopes severely back to front and is elevated, perched up, so the wind can play havoc on that tee shot. And then finally, hole number 17, a really long par 3, about 230 yards that can play completely different depending upon the wind. The day we played it dead into the wind. As you can see here, my brother's having to hit driver into a par 3. There's a fairway bunker that you think, well, how in the world does this come into play? That's about 40 yards short of the green. But if you're playing this sucker into the wind like we did, you've got to carry that bunker, and then the ball will bounce and roll all the way up to the green. But the green's protected by a large, deep bunker on the right. All right, category 3, course conditions. We're going to give the new course 4 stars. The greens, the fairways, and the tee boxes were all in great shape when we played it, and we played the new course the first week of April in the shoulder season. I think all 3 of us were pleasantly surprised at how well conditioned the new course, the Jubilee course, the old course were at St.Andrews, and really all 11 courses we played in Scotland were in immaculate shape, which is really surprising for the being in the shoulder season. You thought they would have had some signs, but they didn't. They were perfectly conditioned. If you haven't played in Scotland and you're expecting those wall-to-wall carpet fairways and greens, lush conditions, the fescue grass isn't that way. You can see in our pictures, it's great condition, but you're going to see different hues of greens and browns. But it's just at the whims of the weather out there. But they were in terrific shape. And if you haven't played there, the fescue grass is really bouncy. If you're not used to that, like it took us a couple of days just to get used to balls bouncing and running out, especially pitch shots. When you're around the green, pitch shots that would normally just spin and check would bounce and roll. And it wasn't because they were hard. It's just because the turf is so springy, which you really feel it when you walk. It's kind of like being on a little mini tramp. So course conditions, 4 stars. Category 4, course history. We're going to give the new course 2 stars. Like we said before, the new course was built by Old Tom Morris in 1895. And while it's hosted some open qualifying rounds, it has hosted the prestigious Arnold Palmer Cup competition. If you're not familiar with that, it's a competition between collegiate players from the United States and collegiate players from Europe in a kind of Ryder Cup type atmosphere. Little side note, one of my former high school players, who was a 4-time All-American in college, played in the Arnold Palmer Cup twice. She played in 2022 in Geneva, Switzerland, and she played in Laurel Valley Country Club in 2023. So go The new course also hosts the St.Andrews Links Trophy, which is a top amateur tournament for men, and it also hosts the St. Rule Trophy, which is a top amateur tournament for women. So it does have some history, but it's always going to be second fiddle to its older brother, the old course. Category 5, for value, we're going to give the new course 4 stars. When we played it the first week of April, it cost us about $129 US, which is an incredible deal, incredible steal for the quality of golf course you're getting. For example, if you were to play the new course in the high season in the summer, it's going to cost you over $200, somewhere around $215, $220 to play it. So when we played it in April in the shoulder season, it was only 129 US, which is really almost half of what we paid to play the old course next door. Literally, if you were going to take a golf trip to Scotland and you weren't hung up on playing the famous courses that were in part of the Open Rota at some point or another, and you wanted to have an inexpensive golf trip to Scotland, I would find hidden gems like the new course. You can find them littered up and down both coasts, the east and west coast. There's hundreds of them that provide tremendous value, give you a great example of Seaside Links course, and you'll absolutely love them and have a great time. So again, you can spend as much as you want, or you can play courses like this and really get great value. All right, let's recap and give the new course an overall score. I'm going to give the new course 3 stars. While it lacks the history of the old course next door, I did really enjoy our round on the new course as a standalone links course. In fact, I would recommend you play it first before you play the old course to get used to that kind of golf. To answer the question we posed at the beginning, is the new course underrated links course? I would think that would have to be a big yes. If you put the new course anywhere else up along either coast of Scotland or even in northern Scotland, it would be rated much higher, and it's already rated really high by Golf Digest and Golf Magazine. So yeah, I think it would be more highly thought of by the general public, but it just gets overshadowed by the next door old course. When we took our trip and we got accepted in the application process for a tee time on the old course, you had to pick and guarantee to take a tee time or pay for a tee time on one of the other courses the St. Andrews Links owns and operates. So we chose the new course because it was the highest rated at the time by Golf Digest, Golf Magazine, and everyone else. You could have played any of the ones there. You could have played the Links, the Malgrove, the Stratham, the Castle course. We didn't choose the Castle course because we wanted a Links type experience while we were there. So we went back. We might play the Castle course just because we played the Jubilee and the Old. But I really enjoyed it, and I think my brother and son did as well. If you're familiar with Scotland, the new course will remind you a lot of Nairn up in northern Scotland. Great golf course, or Dundonald Links, where they play the Women's Scottish Open now, right next to Western Gales. It's a great golf course, and it's reminded me a lot of the new course. Having said that, of the 11 courses we played in Scotland, I'd probably rate the new course 11 out of the 11. I like the Jubilee just a little bit better. I just think it lacks the views and the memorable holes that the old course has, or places like Royal Aberdeen, Cruden Bay, Royal Dornoch, even Castle Stewart, the newer course. Certainly not the views you get at Turnberry. So, for that, I would probably rank it 11th. History-wise, it would probably rank 9th out of the 11 that we played. But if you played the new course, let us know in the comments below what you thought, what your experience was like there, how much you enjoyed it, what your favorite holes were. Our viewers that watch love to hear the comments from other people and what they would rate them, not just what I or Cheryl or my brother would rate these golf courses. So please leave us a comment below. And as always, remember, if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe below so we can keep providing content like this for couples like us who like to travel and play golf. And be sure to check back next week as we continue our Scotland series with the next installment as I'll rate and review the Jubilee course. And check back with some of our other series. We've got series from all over the place like Myrtle Beach and Bandon Dunes and Cabo San Lucas and the Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Las Vegas, lots of places all around the golfing world. So keep hitting them straight, and we hope we see you on the first tee someday.